The following live stream has been approved for restricted audiences only. It will definitely contain strong language and maybe some adult themes. Almost certainly. Viewer inebriation is advised.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to Last Call, where tonight I thought we'd take it back to brass tacks. Not every stream needs to be on one particular topic with a special guest subject matter expert. I always imagined Last Call to be a gathering together at the pub over drinks with friends and whomever happened by. I do have some topics I'd like to touch on, but we'll see where the conversation takes us. So come on in, get comfortable, top off your glasses, and tell me what you're sipping on. We'll get this Canarble Wagon rolling right now.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken! The Kraken!
Why is the rum always gone?
Salud! Welcome. Good to see all my friends. And I do mean that. I believe that all the people that I have seen in the chat thus far are my friends. There is a distinct possibility that some people that will be joining the chat tonight will not be friends. So I am asking all of my blue wrenches to keep a special eye on the chat tonight, would you? Anyway, yeah. Netter's back there going, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a stream. As you know, Netter and I have had a brutal week at our respective jobs. We're not going to talk about that tonight. This is the decompression night, so we're not going to be talking work. I have released the Kraken, Vasalut. And you know what? Let me just get Netter in here right now. Netter, how you doing, my beautiful, lovely? What are you sipping on?
I'm doing okay because, well, I survived the week. And doubly encouraged because it's payday. And when I weighed myself today, point. I lost a little bit of weight. So
there you
I'm
go.
Really encouraged by this. As far as when I'm drinking, you made this up. What was this now?
Oh, it was Malibu and your.
So it's a Netter's Nectar.
Yeah, it's kind of a Netter's Nectar. Sure. Yeah. You haven't even tasted it yet.
No, I have.
How is it?
It's good.
There you go.
He makes yum.
Yeah. So I'm really counting on my blue wrenches tonight because my bouncer is getting liquored up tonight. So she may be a little bit slow on the trigger if it becomes necessary. And I will explain to y'all why that is going to be necessary or may be necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized you could barely hear me. Okay, that's good.
Okay. And you know what? Let's just get Age Boomer in here. How you doing, my friend? And what are you sipping on?
I have an orange juice.
Just orange juice.
Yes.
Orange juice. Okay.
What's wrong with that?
If
you live in Florida. Is it freshly squeezed?
I assumed at some point it was.
Okay, so you have that artificially flavored, bolstered up stuff that comes out of the carton, is what you're saying.
It comes out of a bottle.
Yeah.
So now, if you add some vodka to that, you got a tool.
You got the
screwdriver.
The makings of a good screwdriver there, my friends. Let me tell you. By the end of tonight, you may wish that you Irished it up a little bit. But how's your week been?
Okay, so far so good. Can't complain.
You got work tomorrow.
But so far it's been fine. Netter's through her week.
Tomorrow?
That's good to hear. I am early, so yes.
Okay, yeah. So you're out hard line at midnight your time. So that's
probably a little after. I could follow you over to Rumble for a bit, but then
fair enough.
I want to say something to the chat before we get started. Normally how I say in my closing, thank you for welcoming any new faces.
Yeah,
Tonight,
let's be, yeah.
Tonight, I want you to be wary of any new faces, new names, because some of them may not be friendly.
And we will get to the why of that in just a moment.
So I want you to be on hyper alert tonight, because we probably will have trolls, and I expect you to boot them right away.
But let's say hi to the familiar faces first, starting with Pootie, who was absolutely first one in here. He said, I could swear it wasn't scheduled earlier. No, he was absolutely right. I was late getting the stream up today, so that's why Pootie is first, followed by PJ of Orville Nation. Welcome, my friend. And business manager, as listed in my tags down below in the description. Of course, Connie Cleary, definitely glad that you are here. I'm glad for all of my my waitstaff tonight. Thank you so much. And of course, the hostess with the mostest, Lady Mist. So glad you are here, my dear. Curtis Selby, saying hi to everybody. Glad you're here, my friend. I am really glad to be surrounded by my friends tonight, let me tell you. Thank God it's Friday. And for Last Call with Troy Pacelli, woo-hoo. Yes, I agree with you, woo-hoo. Big Al of Big Al Presents. Hello, my friends. Have a great stream. He had a great watch party just before this that I'm guessing probably let out, because, usually about a 2-hour movie. And let's see. And of course, there's the lovely and talented Netter of Netters Network, who is sitting right across from me.
I'm still waiting for my I love you.
I love you too, Netter. I didn't see where you had said the tagging to me, but that's okay. I
tag you in every single stream.
I know you do. I just didn't see it. Deleted Seeds.
Wait. You're going to get to him eventually. But one of the comments, and you'll get to him further down the chat, says, forget about the Kraken. Release the Netterbots on the trolls.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Deleted Scene says, films with friends, Ray. That's right, because you were co-hosting with Big Al tonight.
That's right.
I'm sure you guys had a good time tonight. Welcome all. Mark Melnikoff.
That's who made that statement.
Kapla, my friend. Yes, I have returned. I'm so glad you are here. Let the Knights of the Table Round come out to defend the High King Troy, Queen Netter, and the Wise Wizard Aged Boomer. I kind of like that. That casting is pretty. You okay with being the Wise Wizard Aged Boomer?
That's a drinking game.
Okay.
Have you heard of this
I'm
one?
all for that. No, I have not.
It must have been a millennial drinking game that in my later college days that the millennials were doing. Basically, what you would do is you would drink a beer, drink another beer, and then you would start taping the empty beer cans together to get a wizard staff. And then the two with the largest staffs would then attack each other. I believe that's how it went.
Okay. See, I didn't have drinking games like that when I was in college. The Gen X drinking games were you drink, you get drunk, you fall down. That's the game. The first one to fall down wins. Welcome FKHC2005. So glad you are here.
Yeah, how do you pronounce that?
Fuck 2005. Samuel Proctor, listening while eating in my little brother's graduation party. Dude, that is what I call multitasking. By the way, Samuel Proctor, congratulations on the new job.
Yes.
I totally appreciate that you can't always be here live, and this goes for everybody. If you can't be here live, I certainly understand, but VOD is a thing. Come on back and listen when you get the opportunity the next day or sometime during the weekend. Leave me a comment to let me know you were here so I feel loved.
Yeah, and Samuel, if you don't mind disclosing, what are you doing now?
Yeah, what's the new job? Tell us all about it. Mr. Matchstick, Mr. Matchstick, I want to thank you for keeping us posted on various things throughout the week in the DMs. You are of course, good people and a friend of the channel. Make sure you are following Mr. Matchstick on the YouTubes. And Curtis is congratulating you, Samuel Proctor. So good. I'm glad you guys are looking out for each other. Now, I haven't seen any comments on it, and I'm glad because I want to head them off at the pass, as it were. So everybody that follows this kind.
Hold on. FKHC 2005 said there are those who call me Tim. Okay.
Oh, Tim, yes, of course, from Deleted Scenes channel. I don't always make the connections there, see?
And Samuel Proctor said he's taking donations in at a thrift store. Lots of lifting and running back and forth. Oh, that's great exercise. Word of caution, wear disposable gloves.
Yeah.
Because some of those donations are nasty.
Yeah. You never know what you might run into. But another word of warning, don't get caught up in, ooh, I want that, because your whole paycheck will start going into that. Thrift stores can be a collector's nightmare and dream.
Okay. Tim said, instead of me being queen, I think Netter is more of a Grand Duchess type. Oh, he's so sweet.
See? I think you could supplant that Grand Duchess of Buckingham, whatever her name was.
I'm prettier. I mean,
you are.
Not to sound conceited,
no.
But seriously, I am.
No. That's another one of those things. When you get to know somebody, you get to know their personality, sometimes their attractiveness level lowers. We'll be talking about someone like that very shortly. Gotta say it, not really planning on reviving my channel. I enjoy more just being a guest on other stuff. That's perfectly fine. But you know what? I still say, because there's a lot of people here in the chat that I know you follow each other, and they're not putting out any content or anything. Follow them anyway, right? Stay connected. I love this community. We are stronger together. And that's going to become important. We'll be talking on some certain topics tonight. We're giving work gloves. Oh, yeah, good. So they provide it. I'd
still
good.
Wear disposable gloves because the ick factor.
Yeah.
Let's just say liquids can seep through work gloves.
That's a good point. And, anything used, you don't know how it's been used. Just saying. Mark's kind of addressing.
I had read a whole article on people who worked in thrift stores and the ick that they came across that was so disgusting. So yeah, disposable gloves.
Yeah.
They'll be your best friend. In fact, if you send me a DM on Twitter, tell me your glove size. I'm happy to send you a box.
She means that there could be liquids on the items that you are going through.
On, in, around.
Things that have not been washed, let's say. And we'll leave it at that. Let's get away from that and bring it to first topic of the night. If you don't know the name, that's fine. Those that know. But I do want to touch very, 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 very briefly on the whole Nick Rekieta situation. Like I said, those that know. And I just want to head it off at the pass before you start commenting. We only know what we actually know. And this comes directly from, this is a DM that I got from someone in the LawTube community who knows Nick personally and is following the case from a legal standpoint. Again, from the LawTube folk. Nick and his wife are charged with first degree drug possession and gun and ammo possession of drug use. That's, in other words, he legally owns a gun and ammo, but if you are doing drugs in his state, it's illegal to be in possession of a gun. That's a case that's worked in its completely separate case, working its way up to SCOTUS, but I digress. The case originated from a mandatory reporter leading to a search warrant. So, in other words, because he's an attorney, he had to report something to the bar, which resulted in a mandatory search warrant. So the police showed up. The drugs appeared to be cocaine and ketamine. The amount of drugs makes it a first-degree felony that carries a typical sentence of 66 months in prison for first-time offenders. Typically, the way to reduce that risk is to find challenges to the search warrant sufficient for the prosecutor to agree to a plea of a lower drug amount that could provide for a shorter sentence or probation. So pray for Nick. Why am I even bringing this up? I don't usually talk about what's going on in the law tubosphere and so forth. I'm just trying to head off anybody that tries to draw comparisons and starts, oh, Troy drinks on stream and Nick drinks on stream and Nick's got a drinking problem. Troy has a drinking problem. I'll tell you why.
That's not a problem. You drink very well.
See? No, but that does lead into exactly what I was going to say. The way you know I don't have a problem, even if I get drunk on a Friday, it's because that beautiful woman sitting right across from me. She keeps me in line. She keeps me in line because I love her and trust her and allow her to do so. So, just saying, it's a very different situation.
Yeah, he only drinks on Fridays.
I only drink on Fridays, specifically on stream, and if you see me doing what you may have seen Nick doing, and he's kind of, hey, this is just me doing what I do on Fridays, and Netter's got my back, and we're good, and, you don't have to worry about it. So, but beyond what I just told you, that all comes from the public-facing legal what do you call it? The legal report. So that's all we know. Anything else is a bunch of fugazi from a bunch of people gossiping online. Okay? And I won't have any of that. Okay? Stuff going on with his marriage and behind the scenes and all that stuff. That's all rumor. Leave it alone. Okay? If I hear anything else substantial, I'll let you know. Otherwise, let it be. Real quick, I want to say hi to the Clue channel who just joined us. Happy Friday. Good to see you, my friend. What's white under Troy's nose is hair. Yeah, that's my mustache. That is not like foreign substance.
You
right?
can't really see clearly, but it's actually salt and pepper.
Yeah, there is some gray and black. Well, not black. It's like brown and
dark brown.
Well, there might still be a few strands of red. My beard used to come in red.
Moving closer to your camera so you can see your beard.
Nah, it'll just get fuzzy if I get close. They wouldn't be able to see. Let's see. And I'm drinking. Well, yes, but in theory, so was Nick. So I mean,
I like Curtis Selby's response.
This one here. Don't know the man. I hope that God helps him. Otherwise, I have nothing to say. Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't know him, he's another YouTuber.
Yes. Yeah.
He's a YouTuber, a big YouTuber in the law. They call it the law tubers. He talks about legal cases and so forth. And he drinks on stream too. And we've all kind of noticed that he tends to drink more when people talk about him being an alcoholic or whatever, and he goes, no, I can handle it, and he pours himself another drink to prove that he can. And there may be a problem there, but that's just speculation. I don't know. That's his situation to deal with his, family and now, I guess, the courts. But, if I had a problem, Netter would be addressing it. Okay? I'm not even going to say I don't have a problem because Netter would tell me if I had a problem.
Yeah. I mean, trust me. My father was an alcoholic. my brother was an alcoholic.
My dad was an alcoholic, too.
His dad was an alcoholic. If I
In
felt,
fairness, though, I never saw it, okay? I only know this from my mother and then kind of seeing him after they split up. You know, he was almost always drunk when I saw him after they broke up. So I'm like...
Yeah, because he was a functioning alcoholic, just like my dad, just like my brother. The thing is, Troy only has drinks on Friday. He doesn't drink every day. He doesn't sneak drink or anything like that. If he ever tries something like that, smack the crap out of him.
Never drive when I've had so much as a sip.
Yeah, it's like, so he has a controlled drinking period.
No.
Just on the one day during the particular live stream.
Clue, specifically because I don't have that kind of money. Well, I mean, there's other reasons, but that is definitely the limiting factor if I was so inclined, let me tell you. But I'll tell you, I mean, when you look at me, I could stand some speed to help me lose some weight and curb the appetite. That's probably my problem is the eating, if nothing else, and being sedentary. We love you, Troy. My dad was an alcoholic. I could be wrong, but I don't think you have a problem. Well, no, you don't know me, like on a regular intimate basis. So yeah, that's fair, but
yeah,
from what you've seen, you're saying.
If I thought even for a moment that it was becoming an issue, I'd make him stop.
Yeah.
Here's a separate story, but kind of related. This was, years and years ago when we still lived in Chicago. I happened to mention to Troy that I thought he was smoking his pipe way too often. He goes, oh. And he took all of his pipes, all his tobacco, and threw them out.
Yep. She bought me another pipe a couple of years ago.
Yeah, about maybe 3-4 years ago.
And how often do I smoke it?
It's like once every 3-4 months.
Yeah, I'm trying to smoke it enough to get through the 3 ounces of tobacco that I got before it all dries up and goes bad.
And he's had that 3 ounces of tobacco for about 6 months now.
And she'll come downstairs after a work day and go, "Oh, you've been smoking your pipe, haven't you?"
Yeah, but I did tell him the last time he smoked, I said, you need to clean out your pipe because it's starting to smell burnt.
It is. It is. I might have to have it reconditioned. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Not that, I'm being real. But anyway, back to what Curtis was saying. He says, but, one, if you do, my prayers are with you. Look, I can use prayers no matter what, my friend. Me and the big cat at the top of the stairs aren't exactly on speaking terms. So, if anyone wants to pray for me, I'd be totally okay with that. And two, I have my own issues that I need to work on. Everybody does, Curtis. What does Scripture say? There is nothing that has gripped you but what is common to man. Everybody, Scripture also says, for we all fall short for all fall short and have been lost or whatever. I forget the Scripture. Some of you guys that know it better than I do. But, if you do, go ahead and chime in and quote it. But, I didn't, although I brought him up and waved, I wanted to make sure I said hi verbally to...
For we all fall short of his glory?
Yep.
We all fall short of the glory of God. I've seen other different versions. But
what is the passage?
Romans 3:23 to 3:24.
Thank you. I always like to...
Chapter 3, verse 23 to 24. Yeah.
I always like to cite the passages if I'm going to bother quoting them because, because you want to be a Berean, right? You want to receive the message with great eagerness and then check to make sure if what the speaker said is true.
At Putin's Cat, we're just getting started, really.
Yeah. Right now, we're just babbling. You honestly haven't missed anything. I did touch on the Nick Rekieta thing. We're letting it lie. I gave an update on it and said we got Netter here. She's keeping an eye on me. I am not going to be having problems like Nick, even though you could draw the similarity that I drink on stream and very possibly get drunk on stream.
News story also said that he had something to do with drugs, which I would not allow drugs in this house.
Yeah. I remember a buddy of mine that I used to work with. We talked about it. He was a Marine. He had been a Marine. He was not active duty when I met him. and he said that, he goes, God, yeah, no, I'd never do drugs. He said, but if I was going to do drugs, he said I'd do steroids because I want to die big. I'm like, okay, I see that. I said, yeah, I feel like cocaine would be my drug because then I could lose this weight,
Oh, see, now cocaine would be my drug, so I have energy.
There is something to be said for, the late 1800s when people were, getting cocaine in their various sodas and medications, because they had a lot of energy and they didn't eat a lot. And so there's an upside there.
Some kind of tonic sold by some guy in the Wild West,
Yeah.
Little side note. If one of your favorite celebrities is looking really, really thin, your first thought is to go like eating disorder, anorexia. Maybe not. Might be cocaine.
I like the clue, Chell. He said, not booger sugar.
Yeah. I had brought that one up. Yeah, no, not
about
no
white liquor. I heard that used before.
Oh, yeah.
And he put down, we all fall short of the glory of God. That's what you're thinking of.
Yes, exactly. Thanks,
yes.
guys.
That was it. Yeah, that was the Romans passage.
For us from Romans, exactly. So that's all I want to say about Nick, and let's let that be. Again, I always say innocent until proven guilty. He's got to have his day in court, deal with his issues. We think we know things about, the YouTubers that we watch.
Right now, it's a lot of rumor and speculation.
Yeah. Unless he said it, take him at his word. If I say something, if I admit to something, well, he'd probably take me at my word. But if not, that's just speculation, right? So that's all I wanted to say about Nick. We wish him well. So now I want to turn my attention to another topic. We've mentioned it on Geeky Geezers. We may have mentioned it here before, but FFS, as the kids say. Hashtag end Kotaku.
Uh-oh.
For fuck's sake. What is Kotaku, Agent Boomer? You know better than I do.
Well, Kotaku is a gaming journalist blog / website. Gaming blog.
Journos, yeah. Gaming journos.
They've been around.
So-called.
They had a notorious reputation back in the days of something known as Gamergate. This was going back. They probably some of their journalists were caught up in the whole Zoe Quinn thing. Anyway, this is why whenever you would send me an article, because you probably weren't in the know, and you would send an article and it was like Kotaku for Geekies, like, really?
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'll read this to you guys in the chat so you don't have to go to the site. That's what I would say.
Right.
Not a fan of them. Not really a fan of Polygon, though, but even Polygon has some standards that Kotaku doesn't have. They're the worst gaming site. I don't think they're being bought out by IGN. Apparently, a lot of sites are now going to be gobbled up by IGN soon. So, who knows? The whole gaming journalist thing could be coming to an end at some point. I don't know. Or at least it's going to become... I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs.
I hope so. That's why I said hashtag end Kotaku, and I'll talk more about that in just a second.
I don't really know what's going on there, though, because what I understood, I mentioned this in Geeky Geezers, I had mentioned that I thought the company was telling them to do like 50 guides a week. I had the impression the new owners of whatever that company that owns them now are not fans of Kotaku, and they want everybody to leave. At the same time, I really don't know the inner workings. I know that they had hired a certain person as an editor recently who was starting up trouble with other YouTubers. This had been going on at the beginning of the year. I remember reading about it, and I was waiting to see if anything broke through, and of course it did a few weeks ago with Smash JT. If you recall, we were talking about that. Is there something now new involved with this?
Well, yeah, you kind of caught me in the middle of doing some twittering because I'm responding to, okay, Netter, you want to talk about this thread that I'm actually commenting on right now?
Yeah, so Master of the TDS had posted that this person, Alyssa Mercante, I don't know who the heck she is, but she thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. He posted, it seems that Alyssa is creating a list of creators who have made videos about her. I don't know why she thinks she's all that, and, but then he puts, I find it ironic that all this began with a simple curator list that deemed harassment. They deemed harassment. Yet this is this will be considered acceptable because they are the ones doing it. I wonder what the purpose of, purpose of the list is. Could it be to elicit and encourage harassment? They're so blind to their own hypocrisy that it's actually sad at this point. Now here's the funny thing. They have she took down the list, but he screen captured it. And if you look at it, it's just a bunch of random YouTube URLs. No content creator names, nothing like that. And it's like, so she threw a whole, the way I'm looking at it, she threw a whole bunch of random URLs into a spreadsheet going, all these people are stalking me. I'm sorry, pardon my language, because y'all know I don't talk like this, but fuck you, cunt.
Yes. No. She's absolutely right. This bitch is a cunt.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
And so
my stream, I can use that language.
I didn't say you. I haven't said anything. I was going to say that.
I don't.
That's
so
true.
then I added a post to that post saying, I don't usually use this language, but she's a dumb cunt. And I'm waiting for her to contact me to boo-hoo that my husband, at Troy Pacelli, is talking about her tonight.
Yep, and I said, yep. Thank you, my dear Netters Network. Don't bother DMing my wife, you fucktard. She's one of, she's on to you social vandals and rabble-rousers. And then I went ahead and dropped a link to this stream. That's why I'm saying, guys, Blue Wrenches, keep an eye out, because they may very well come effing around.
Yeah, and then she's accusing Masters of TDS of stalking her account with an alternate account. It's like, no, this is his actual account, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Because she's like, do you see any names there? Are there photos? Well, there isn't anything because she took it down because she claims that the list was incomplete.
Master of the TDS. By the way, you might want to check out his channel on YouTube. Check out his feed on X. He's good people. He really is. He would have come as a guest on Friday night, but he is what's it called?
It's not Mormon. It's
no, Jewish. Really, really strict conservative. What do they call that?
Yeah. Why am I drawing a blank? You just said it earlier.
I did, but I've been drinking since then.
Okay, now I gotta Google it.
Anyway, he's Jewish. He keeps all the Sabbath and everything, so Friday nights are a no-go for him. Hasidic. No, not Hasidic.
Yeah, that was my first thing, and it's like, that's not it.
What is it?
Well, he could be Haredi.
No,
that's what it says. Ultra-Orthodox Jews are called Haredi.
Maybe that's what I meant, Orthodox Jew. Yeah. I think that's the word I was looking for. He's Orthodox Jew. I don't want to specify any particular denomination or anything like that because I don't know him that well. But he's Orthodox Jew. That's why he hasn't been. I did reach out to him one time about a year ago, and he couldn't. And I was like, you know what? I understand. We talked about maybe one day doing a recording, and just never got around to it. He has guested on. I'm not sure if it was Midnight's Edge or that Park Place, but one of those channels in that network there. He's really good at looking at social media and recognizing the patterns and saying, "There's bots at work here," So great channel to check out. He does reviews and he's good people. The stuff that you guys, that follow me, follow Midnight's Edge, follow, the deleted scenes and whatnot. You'd like his content too, so check him out. But and welcome Sashi from the future. I'm guessing you are on Netter's channel. You're either on Netter's channel or
on mine.
Okay, there you go.
Kasashi loves me best.
Curtis Selby dated a Coptic Orthodox woman. Very interesting. Sadly, we did not work out. Yeah, I get that. I know he has been on Reality Based. Yes, he has. As has somebody else that I want to hold up. And if you will look at my and Blue Wrenches, if you want to drop if you want to copy paste the link, Smash JT you will notice in the description below, he has been directly harassed by this Lisa Mercante.
His wife was contacted.
Yeah, his wife was contacted.
On Facebook.
Yeah,
Did you say Smash JT?
Smash JT.
At
yes.
Smash JT.
Okay.
Yeah, at Smash JT. He started the change.org petition hashtag.
I am now.
Hashtag end Kotaku. You know, and I'll bring that up in just a second. We'll kind of read the description on that, but look.
Okay, I just dropped his link.
Yeah, thanks. And please, I would request that tonight all of you guys, you know, right click on his channel and hit that subscribe. You know, whether or not you're interested in his content, let's just show this guy some support. Because
show the love, show the support.
He's getting hit by these fucktard Gamergate assholes.
Here's the deal. Before we use that term, these types are wanting to call it Gamergate too, and I don't necessarily want us to jump on that title.
I don't think Gamergate 1 has ended yet.
Well, I don't know. I'm just here's what I'm going to say. I wasn't involved, but I was very familiar with what happened. What was it? Almost 10 years ago. Probably in October we'll be getting on the 10th.
Wait a minute. So Sashi says, I go where the YouTube points me. I'm one of the sheep. So YouTube loves Netter more apparently. That's interesting insight there, Sashi. That well, I guess what you're implying is that you got her notification before you got anyone else's, which I don't know, man. Either you're not subscribed to me, which is a possibility, but you're always here. But then again, you could always be here because you follow Netter. I don't know. That's why we network, and that's why, what is it? Together we grow, as PJ says.
Well, I am she of the smoldering avatar.
You are smoldering, and she's mine. She's mine. I'm sorry, Age of Boomer, I interrupted you.
What was I talking about? Oh, the whole thing. Anyway, it's going to be the 10th anniversary of it in the fall. I don't know though. I'm thinking lately too about the gaming industry as of late and where it is now, 10 years later, and it's. I don't know. It's not as fun as it used to be. I'll say that.
I get it.
It's not that good games don't come out, and it's not that games worth playing don't still come out. They do. I just feel like I have to wade just through a lot of crap. I have to wade.
You do. Games. Yeah. The games are. It's no different than television, streaming, movies. All of our entertainment has become corrupted by ideologue, iconoclast, wokosos, right? Samuel Proctor, actually, I am, let's face it, I am not the coolest. I am an old fart. I am way behind on the lingo, but fucktard has been around for a while now. Samuel Proctor, do me a favor. Try to type that into the chat without the asterisk. I want to know if YouTube filters my chat and wouldn't allow you to say fucktard. I want to know.
Oh, I'll put it in.
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody say fucktard. I
put in fucktard just fine.
Yeah. Don't censor yourself unless YouTube makes you. I don't mind.
Okay, I also dropped the link. I dropped the link for Smash JT. I also dropped the link to Masters of TDS. Both really great channels. And I'm now, I wasn't sub to either. I'm now sub to both.
Good, thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm going to I'm going to bring up. Oops, that's not what I wanted to bring up. That was the Kotaku thing. That's what I wanted to bring up. Let me go ahead and share this with you all. Present, share screen, but not the sound because you don't need the echo. Kotaku. Okay. So what are we looking at here? Demand the shutdown of Kotaku for the betterment of video game journalism. Now, Smash JT has said specifically he knows this isn't going to actually do anything. He's just trying to get a message out. What?
It was tried 10 years ago. It didn't.
This
is
it's
what a
gonna
lot of the
happen.
practice. They basically, if they had just fired a couple of the journalists that were giving favors to a quote unquote friend, we'll use the term friend. Okay, and they just gotten rid of those journalists, or at least done some kind of action, it all would have gone away. And so they doubled down and started attacking gamers and all this other stuff, and then it became a huge, spiraled out of control. Yeah. Anyway, it was a long
let me
time
read
ago.
the text here of the purpose of this change.org. I am a passionate gamer and have been observing with growing concern how Kotaku, a major player in video game journalism, is negatively affecting the industry. Yes. Kotaku, Kotaku, and see, I wouldn't have even known what Kotaku was if it weren't for you, to be honest with you. Kotaku has deviated from journalistic integrity by hiring activists posing as journalists. Sound familiar, folks? We see this a lot in mainstream media right now, and we see it throughout the entertainment industry. Kotaku has... Oh, yeah, I've said that. The practice is not only damaging to their reputation, but also detrimental to the progression of the entire video game industry. Think about that. Journalism, real journalism, should be completely neutral, right? Just the facts, ma'am. That ain't what it is. It just ain't. Kotaku's biased reporting, lies, one-sided stories, and lack of objectivity are leading us down a dangerous path where personal agendas overshadow facts and fair analysis. This trend is harmful not just for gamers, but also for developers who rely on honest reviews and feedback to improve their products. The gaming community deserves better. We deserve journalism that respects its audience, values truth over agenda, and contributes positively to our beloved industry's growth. By signing this petition, we're demanding accountability from parent company of Kotaku, Geo Media, and calling for them to return to unbiased reporting and shut down entirely if they refuse. Your voice can help ensure that video game journalism remains fair, balanced, and free from undue influence. Please sign the petition today. Now, if you check out Smash JT's channel, he's done almost daily, sometimes multiple times a day, videos about Kotaku and the situation there. And he's basically said, look, I don't really expect this to do anything, but it gets the message out there. For that reason alone, I'm asking everybody here in the chat, sign the petition, share it out on your social media, and get this message out. Let's deal with these cultural fucking vandals. That's really what they are. And we all know it, right? Activists have also infiltrated the soft science like psychology and psychiatry. And that's the problem, right? Because they're soft sciences. Real sciences say, no, there are facts. This isn't opinion, right? Their practices are not just consensual grooming parlors for woke. Oh, yeah. Well, no, I appreciate you. Yeah, the right there. I haven't mentioned this much, but when Netter and I met and got married, I was in college, and my major was psychology, and I was going to go into clinical psychology. And I dropped out for two reasons. One was that you get married, the finances change. You know, I made just enough money to not qualify for financial aid, but not enough to be able to pay for college. And I really needed to start supporting my family.
Right.
But on the other side, I would have, if I had continued with my education, I would have changed majors because I had very much become disillusioned by the liberal arts and psychology in particular. If I had gone medical and gone psychiatry, we're talking chemical straitjackets that help nobody. And psychology it's basically a fucking philosophy. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Tell me about your feelings.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a snowflake, so
I
everything
always
offends me.
said that, you don't need an analyst, you need friends. You need a good support system. Creating more useful idiots is what all this is about. You're absolutely right. The idiocracy is palatable. These people, journalism is, I played this game. I liked it. Here's why. This is what's good about it. Check it out. I played this game. I didn't like it. Here's why. Don't check it out. Whatever.
No, you need to have a thing about, in RPGs, if you're a straight white male, you're starting out on the easy mode in life, and that's the article. This was an article. This is prior to the
fuck all that bullshit.
Okay, yes.
All the bureaucracies have been infiltrated. No, you're right. They've been infiltrated. It's the bureaucracies, it's the businesses, it's the media, it's especially the fucking public school system. Guys, let me say something about public school. Public any fucking thing. You get what you pay for. If you're getting a free education for your kids, free because you pay taxes, but you personally aren't paying for it. It's the person that fits the bill that decides what your kids learn. Just saying. Just remember that. The main reason Troy dropped out of psychology is because he couldn't make a Harley Quinn. You're not wrong.
Actually, he probably would have been sitting there during the session going, "Aw, Mommy didn't love you and Daddy didn't love you." No, I don't give a rat's.
Somebody,
Wait, let me finish. It's like, I really don't give a rat's ass. Get the fuck out of my office.
Somebody please find the Geico commercial with Arlie Ermy. Post it, I will play it. That is exactly what Netter was just talking about.
Geico
Even
commercial.
Even if you can't make it a link, I will copy paste it.
You know who coined the term Gamergate, don't you?
No, who?
It was Adam Baldwin, Animal Mother from Full Metal Jacket, the actor. Adam Baldwin was on Firefly.
The conservative one, right?
Yeah, he was basically saying this was like how Watergate, so this is like Gamergate, like we're exposing the corrupt journalists. That's what he was saying. He did reach out to Greg Gutfeld back in the day, 20s, because maybe the conservatives could have rallied and come and helped out during this particular thing of the culture war, and as usual, they did nothing. I'm not necessarily blaming Greg Gutfeld. Maybe he did send it up the chain at Fox, and they said no. You wouldn't have control over that. But
private jet makes it really easy.
Yeah.
And it's not Early Army, it's Arlie Ermy.
That's what I said. Well, I may have slurred my words. Give me just a second, folks. I want to share this with you guys. Present, share screen. Boomer, if you don't mind, I'm going to mute you just because otherwise you're going to echo.
It's fine.
How do I...
I can mute myself if you want.
Can't. Yeah, would you please?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. And let's see. Where are you, Arlie Ermy? There you are. There you are. I do want to share volume and share.
Or when Aisha said, this close to making a new show on my channel, At Last Call with Troy Pacelli. The bitching, whining, complaining of former Vulcan Tim Ross. LOL.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does a former drill sergeant make a terrible therapist?
And that's why yellow makes me sad, I think.
That's interesting. You know what makes me sad? You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land, where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon! Tissue?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Oh, I love that. That is... Arlie Ermy, God rest his soul. I hope you have many, many treasures in heaven. Whom all of you should know, if from nothing else, my sign-off every week. It is Arlie Ermy who says, "Good night, ladies." Hit it,
Hit it,
sweetheart. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? You know what's funny? The term namby-pamby.
Namby-pamby, yeah.
Namby-pamby, I think it is. Yeah,
yes,
namby-pamby.
right.
Anyway, the on an episode of Boston Legal once, William Shatner's lawyer, I believe it was William Shatner's lawyer, either he did it or he was telling another lawyer to do it. This particular judge, at some point in your closing, used the term namby-pamby. It'll wake the judge up, okay? Like,
there you
if
go.
they use it, the judge would be on his side because the judge hates namby-pambies. Just use it once.
I like that. This close to making a new show on my channel, Last Call with Troy Percelli, the bitching, whining, and complaining of former Vulcan Tim Ross. Oh, yeah. Did I? Oh, that's right. That was our Discord conversation, PJ. That was you I was talking about. Oh, gosh. I'm getting sick and fucking tired of these celebutards and their opinions. Mark, if you're still here...
He is. He just posted.
Mark Melnikoff reached out to me, shared... Can you believe what... what's his name from Wise Guys? De Niro. Can you believe what De Niro said? I'm like, dude, De Niro has been a left-wing wackadoo forever. I don't even listen to his bullshit anymore. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, no, he's, and yeah, Tim Russ has gone that way, and so has so many, what's his name? Sulu, and all these people that I met, and in person I like, but then they start talking their politics. It's like, fuck you, seriously, sideways with a red hot poker. There's no such thing as a conservative mainstream media. They are pretending to oppose the liberal. You're absolutely right, Clue.
Some of them are controlled opposition.
I'll tell you what, the Fox network, that is not conservative. That is statist. And it's not conservative versus liberal anymore. It's populist versus statist. Pay attention to it. Pay attention. Who are the maintain the power of the government and the elites over the true democratic power to the people?
All of these actors should take a clue from Dolly Parton. She never discusses politics.
Dolly Parton is a class act.
She definitely is.
Let me tell you. But and I'm sorry, you guys. Remember, if I do miss, yes, thank you, Clue Channel. Rest in peace to him. He was the greatest drill sergeant on television. So I think I have talked. We're taking a well-deserved sideline here. Arlie Ermy did a lot for the troops. He was good people. Not that it matters, but very conservative, as one would expect of his generation and being in the military. And he hit that quote that I use at the end of every stream, "Good night, ladies," from Full Metal Jacket. The reason I use that, I've told this story before, but in case you haven't heard it before, it was a talk radio show. It's also where I got the Canarble Wagon from. Here, WLS talk radio. Well, I forget what frequency they were on the AM dial. Here in Chicago, the Ro-Con show, every Friday at 5 for the drive home, they would roll out the Canarble Wagon. And until the end of the show, which, I don't know, was 6:30, 7 o'clock. I don't know what time the show ended. They would roll out the Canarble Wagon. They'd talk about bullshit just like I do. They'd talk about what they were drinking. What are you sipping on? That's where that comes from. And they would end the show with that same quote from Arlie Ermy. Well, one day, they had Arlie Ermy on as a guest. And they wanted him to say it live. So they set him up to say it, but they hadn't prepped him for it. So he he wasn't keyed into what they're and he flubbed it. And he's like, no, we wanted you to say the line. He's, sorry. Let's back up. Let's try that again. Good night, ladies. Good night, sir. Hit it, sweetheart. You know that. Yeah. So it was just a cute little thing. And yeah, when he passed, they were like, gosh, moment of silence for Arlie Ermy. He was good people. He was the best. I'm sorry, Netter. I know that you're a big Vincent D'Onofrio fan, but Arlie Ermy is the only reason I bothered to watch.
I never saw Full Metal Jacket. You wouldn't let me watch it.
I know. We'll make it a Monday night watch party.
Adam Baldwin.
Was Adam Baldwin in it too?
Yes.
I don't remember. All I remember is Arlie Ermy. I actually, full disclosure, and this is kind of a spoiler for Full Metal Jacket, a 30-year-old film that, maybe it's 40 years at this point. Spoiler for a 40-year-old film. Arlie Ermy gets killed early in the film, and I stopped watching it after that. I watched it for all of Arlie Ermy's scenes, and then I stopped watching it. So I don't know what happens after that. But yes, I agree with the Clue Channel there. I'm sorry, I've lost the continuity of the conversation. Is that guy from the movies? So Arlie Ermy was a real drill sergeant.
Yes.
He was a real drill sergeant who was hired as a consultant on Full Metal Jacket. And he was trying to teach the actor that they had on how to be a drill sergeant, how to, grill people, make them do calisthenics, stuff like that. And he found it was just easier to fucking do it himself. He would demonstrate. And he didn't know the lines because he wasn't the actor assigned. He was just the consultant. So he was making shit up on, and he was insulting people and, all that. If you've seen Full Metal Jacket, where he gets in people's faces and he's insulting them, giving them, nicknames and, talking about the reach arounds and all that kind of stuff, right? And he was making that up as he went. And the director was like, why don't we just fucking have him do it? And they asked him, like, would you be willing to play this role? And he's like, I've never acted in my life. They're like, no, you don't need to act. You just do what you do. And he's like, well, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. And they hired him. Boom. And all of his lines, he basically wrote himself. They were improv on the thing, and then they wrote it into the script. It was brilliant. In fact, my understanding is there's multiple takes of some of those scenes, and they're different lines each time. He was just fucking brilliant. And so he ended up, that's where his acting career started. Obviously an older guy. He never set out to be an actor. He was, like I said, retired Marine. And then he was in, I don't know, somebody can, let us know from his IMDb. I know he was in a horror movie or two.
He was in On Deadly Ground with Steven Seagal and Michael Caine.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yes.
I've never seen it. Never seen it.
Steven Seagal kills him to save the
Steven Seagal's an asshole. Executive decision. He gets killed. Good for him,
Yeah, he got killed at like the first.
He gets just blown out of the plane.
And I was cheering.
Yeah, Netter doesn't like Steven Seagal.
No, it's not that I didn't like him. I just thought it was funny. It's like, here's a guy who always acts like he's all that in a bag of chips. In the first 5 minutes, like, bye.
Yeah, he's dead early on.
I told you, Leo on Twin Peaks reminds me of Steven Seagal. He has that Steven Seagal
at the time. Yeah. You're kind of not wrong there. No, you're kind of not wrong. But no, Arlie Ermy was definitely good people, no doubt about it. I'm gonna breeze through these real quick, guys. I'm just kind of skimming. Netter will call you guys out if there's something I really need to bring up. Rena Sirtis, who said that the people who were freezing to death. Oh, yeah, I remember this bullshit, Nate. You voted Republican, and this is what you get. And I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, and I unfollowed her immediately. Yeah, these people are all just, and you know what? That's another thing. You know, you guys all know I'm a huge Anglophile, but if you're not American, fuck you. I don't give a shit what your opinion is about our country and our politics. Go fuck yourself.
Well, I don't know. What's his name has some interesting to say.
What kind of alcoholic only watches half? Fuck you. No, but you're right. Good point. Good point. He was a drill sergeant in space above and beyond. No kidding. That's interesting. Well, that just makes perfect fucking sense, right?
Morgan and Wong, they were behind that show. They went on to do Millennium After, remember?
Yes! Actually, this is true. Wait a minute. I didn't bring it up. Steven Seagal's flappy hand martial arts technique was hilarious. You're not wrong there, Sashi. That's absolutely true. I've heard that Rutger Hauer ad-libbed the classic lines at the end of Blade. Yes! Yes, that is true. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Yeah, all the what is it, Tears in the Rain line? Yeah. Yeah, that was ad-libbed, and they were like, fuck, that's good. Fuck.
Poor Roy. Well, not really, because Roy killed people, but poor
Clue,
Roy.
I got so far behind, I don't know what you're referring to, but thank you. Thank you very much. Well, Roy, here's the thing about Roy, right? Roy was kind of, you got to think of him as a terrorist, right? Terrorists employ what their actions are not necessarily justified, but they're doing what they have a mission. The mission might be noble, but their actions are not, right?
Like Captain Kirk, renegade and terrorist, according to the Klingon Empire. Remember?
Yeah, exactly right.
That was from their point of view, right? That's how they saw it.
But terrorism, and you can look at the Irish, what is it? Irish Liberation?
Irish Republican Army.
Irish Republican, IRA, right.
Yes.
The Irish Republican Army. You can look at the Afghanistan, the Afghani people, and so many others, right? When you are pushed into a corner and you have no power otherwise, a lot of people resort to terrorism, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. But it's it really is, But anyway, guys, let's keep an eye on this guy. New name. Looks like he's looking to poke at us. Look, if you think that it's perfectly okay to wokeify and basically be a cultural vandal, and your idea of journalism is anybody who criticizes you DM their spouse and try to malign them, try to ruin their marriage, you can just fuck right the fuck off. That's all I'm saying. I speak on the U.S. politics because I see you going down. Yeah. See, and that's fair, Sashi. I didn't mean I wasn't calling you out. I was just saying that if you can't be objective, shut the fuck up. You are being objective and looking at a situation that we have, and it's like, guys, I've seen it. I know, there are a lot of, and see, they tend to warp this whole, no slurs. Fuck off, Brian. Go to hell. Somebody drop this asshole. Would you please?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the comment. Here we go.
This is my channel. I will talk the way I want. You don't like it? You can fuck right the fuck off, Brian.
I also put him in timeout.
Thanks. Let me get a couple more mixers, if you don't mind. Yeah, adios, Brian. Thanks, Clue. This is what I'm talking about, guys. They're starting now. They're starting.
Oh, it's probably her using a fake account so that we don't know who she is.
Or her fucking stance, right? You know, these people that can't get laid, that think that, you know, if they go and harass the people that don't like this you know, weird-haired, colored bitch, you know. Oh, wow, what did I walk into? So, Storyman Jack, don't know if you've been following the what do you call it? The Smash JT channel and the whole thing with hashtag #NKotaku, but the Wakosos are coming out after all of us that are speaking out against these so-called journalists, these cultural fucking vandals, right? And getting all butthurt when you call them on it, and then, you know, direct messaging your spouse to try and break up your marriage, you know, taking it all personally.
I went to his channel. It's a throwaway account. Just has his name, nothing else. So
of course it is. So, guys, he'll just make up a new one. Just make sure you block every time you see a fucktard like that.
Anyway, Storyman Jack said, "What did I walk in?" Oh, you already mentioned that.
No, yeah.
Basically, you were angry because a certain someone made look like it was a blacklist of sorts, right? With all the stuff.
And against nobody named Stan. Just like when we say a Karen, we're not really, you know, trying to besmirch anyone whose actual name is Karen. Just saying. You know. But yeah. Yeah. So this is what happened. If you go check out Smash JT's channel, right, and he just created a web page, kind of like who was the bloke on Discord who created the watch for the woke in the gaming field. Oh gosh, somebody help me out here. Midnight's Edge did a whole piece on him.
Right.
You know who I'm talking about, right? I mean,
which not Smash JT, right?
No, not Smash JT. Before him, it was somebody's gonna say it. He created a Discord where
Cabrutus.
Cabrutus, yes. He had created a Discord.
It was about he was informing people what Sweet Baby Inc. was involved with as far as video games.
Sweet Baby Inc. That's what it was. Well, Smash JT decided he was going to do the same thing for the whole Kotaku thing, but he pointed out he's kind of like me. I have a Discord too. Link in the description, but I don't really do much with it, because it's not the most user-friendly thing for somebody who's hosting a Discord there. He's basically turned it into... He created a web page that does the same thing. Here are all the people that work for Kotaku, who are all pieces of shit, you know, and, you know, puts their picture and what they've done and, you know...
Who, Cabrutus?
No, not Cabrutus.
JT. Right.
Yeah. Go check out his channel. He just talked about it today. And thank you very much, Jack. You're awesome. You are good people. Stop buying games, and I don't read these so-called gaming journals. Yeah, exactly. Nobody is, and that's why they're all fucking going out of business. They literally exist to insult the people that would buy these games.
Look, my personal opinion, based on what I heard months ago, is that they're sort of on their last legs. But again, you still have people like this working there, and I guess still earning a paycheck. I just figure at some point, like this whole 50 guide a week thing. I don't know how that's possible. Like the people that own the company want it to be less article based and going more about making guides on how to beat the game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this stuff is still going on over there. But
sorry, sweetie, I'm in the middle of hosting a stream. I can't make you another drink.
My glass is empty. Okay, I'm going to steal a Dr. Pepper then.
No. If you want to make yourself another one, I'll tell you exactly the ratio.
No, that's fine. One is fine for me.
Okay, fair enough. It's been a week, let me tell you. She held up her glass and she's like, I'm broken. I dumped my Stream account last year. The only reason I have a Steam account is
for games.
I want to say because of Age of Boomer, but I don't think that's true. I think
he got you your first game, I think. Oh no. The first game we had was that detective one that we never could get through because it kept glitching.
Deja Vu?
No. It was
Blade Runner?
L.A. Noire.
Yeah.
L.A. Noire.
Well, they probably updated patches for it. It might work now.
Very possibly. I may have to try it again. It just aggravated the fuck out of me because it just would not work. And I quit.
Plus, let's be honest, if the company doesn't do it, the community will. They'll fix it.
Well, you got a good point there. Go make your lovely wife a drink. No, she said she didn't want any more alcohol, so
I'm fine.
More.
I got
Darth Plato, how you doing, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. I spent 20 years in a university environment, and I think these folks are deceptively weak. Yeah, they're just loud and riled up by handlers. They are. Look, what you just described, Darth Plato, is what they used to call the useful idiots, right? They really are. They have bought into a religion. This philosophy of socialism is a religion to them. It doesn't need to be logical. You don't need any receipts. They just believe it because faith, right? And they are jihading against everybody to make, their religion happen.
I also want to say hi to Samuel the Infamous. Oh, he's over on my channel right now.
Yeah, he is, but he should still be showing up here. Samuel, I'm not seeing your comment, but, oh no, maybe I haven't gone far enough. Samuel, you're good people. Super appreciate you.
Am I good people?
Yes,
I wouldn't have you on my channel every week if you weren't.
Anyway.
I got tired of it. Older game. Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
But I want to say, though, that I got you the greatest game of all time. Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator. Guys, Goat Simulator. Look.
We're cracking up playing that.
I haven't played it in a while, but let me tell you something. You play a goat, and you just go around blowing shit up, and you crash into it, and you headbutt people, and you
climb towers.
Climb towers and jump on people's heads. It's just freaking ridiculous.
We were laughing so hard playing this thing.
Yeah, we got a lot of mileage. Look, if we only played it one day, whatever you spent on it, Boomer, you got your money's worth for the entertainment we got out of it.
You can buy expansions for it too. They have
oh shit! I can't even imagine what kind of expansions.
Zombie mode, like Goat Zombie.
Oh wow!
But let me go into Katako mode.
Space.
Katako mode for you for a second. The way they would report on this game, if you're having fun, you need to check your white privilege. You white male, cisgendered, istophobe.
Well, I like it when you can go and break up the protest. There are people protesting in Goat Simulator. You can just start messing with them.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Like they have these petitions. I don't even know what they're protesting about. It's just.
Well, it's funny you say that, Mark, because the Stalinists, the Maoists, the leftists would say religion based on Judeo-Christian faith, right? Not realizing that they have turned their philosophies into religion. They can't see it. Too close, right? They have never had to do anything difficult or physical in their entire lives and wouldn't survive if they were dropped in the middle of nowhere. That is the problem. It's real easy to be a champagne socialist, right? When someone else is paying your bills, it's very easy to say, well, everyone should live this way. Fuck you. Not everyone is a trust fund child. Some people have to work for a living. The problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money.
They probably wouldn't know how to use a can opener.
Yeah, you're probably right. How do I hell, make food? No. I'm gonna go to the, $20 an hour minimum wage place to get
Panera
my
bread.
food.
Well, that's $16 because of the
whatever.
The
Part of the problem is that students are taught to look at people as part of a group, not individuals. The problem is that students are taught what to think, not how to think. Like in my day.
Did you hear about that school teacher that got fired? He was a YouTuber as well, and he got fired.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
He literally was teaching people how to think.
Because he's saying that...
Why do you believe what you believe is what he would say.
I think it was about J.K. Rowling. He says, well, why do you believe that she is how they say her?
And
well,
he challenged one of his students, and his students couldn't bring the receipts. And when he started looking, he realized he was just regurgitating what other people had said.
Yeah. Well, he said, no, that's how we learn. This is why you're here. This is, this is why.
And he wasn't insulting. He was just saying, look.
He had a conversation, yeah.
I hope you don't mind me calling you out, using you as an example, Mark, but Mark Malnicott, he used to be way left. And what did I do? I challenged him with exactly the same way that teacher did. I said, why? Why do you believe that, I think I said, why do you believe Trump is a racist? What has he said? What has he done that makes you believe he's a racist? And he didn't know. He said, oh, it's what I've heard. Yeah, well, and then I shared with him a couple videos from actual people, a black woman who said, these people saying that he's racist. He is not. I consider him a dear friend. He did this for me and he did that for me and he cared about me. And this was nobody important. He was just somebody he gave a job to and, helped out, And it's like, he doesn't hate black people. Why people are saying this, I don't understand. I'll tell you exactly why people say Trump hates black people. Because it's a great way to get you to not vote for him and vote for the actual racists. The party of the Ku Klux Klan.
I wish this election was happening tomorrow. They have to stretch it out till November.
Hey, do I have anybody in the chat here who is in, I think it's District 23, southwestern Texas? You got a runoff coming up next Tuesday. Make sure you are voting for Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, not Tony Gonzalez, the Rhino. Okay? If you care about your borders, if you care about law and order, if you care about your Second Amendment rights,
if you care about the fact Troy and I are planning on moving to Texas at some point,
we would like to possibly move to Texas. Yeah.
It's like we'd like to go someplace where we know that we're not going to have those type of people. So Brandon Herrera, all the way.
Yeah, that's someone I would say go Brandon for. It's games like that and Halo 3 multiplayer. The guys would just play and have fun.
I would, but I'm married.
Friends, let me tell you, Brandon Herrera, good looking guy. If Netter said something about him, I would understand. Have fun with friends and all of the shenanigans that we went into. Yeah, absolutely. I have adapted to some surprising things, but I am very far from a tough guy. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, the bar has lowered these days, right? With these beta male girly boy, I don't know. You're manly enough. You're more manly than many these days. I am like you, Troy, a Gen Xer. In fact, I will be 50 on Thursday. I'm still a youngin', man.
You are a youngin'.
Our world was much different. Which is why, I do the watch parties and, on Geeky Geezers we do the good old days and stuff like that. We want to let you guys know, let the younger people know, there's entertainment that you have access to that you would very much enjoy. You don't need the bullshit they're putting out these days. National Socialism did the same. The state was put above the individual. Yes, National Socialism, the idea that the Third Reich was the mother and father, and you sacrificed everything for that over. Yeah, that's fascism, right? That's just fascism. You know, they love to call Trump and people on the right the fascists. The fascists are the left. They always have been. They always have been. The leftists are the socialists. They are the fascists. I actually do remember I had a couple of classes that taught you how to think. I don't see a lot of thinking going on anymore. Yeah, you know, learn about logical fallacies, right? You know, citing sources, things like that, evaluating sources. Not all sources are made the same. They believe Trump is racist because they are told he is. Yeah, that's what I was saying, exactly. I'm actually not pro-Trump, but I don't believe he is a racist. He is just labeled that. Well, Curtis, we had that conversation, right? On your, well, you know, I was in the chat on your stream. Guys, make sure, of course, you are following Curtis Selby. He's got a great channel, great commentary. He gets, you think I'm getting political today? He's more relaxed with talking about politics and whatnot. And we were talking about the fact that although I consider myself conservative, I've got some issues with Trump. He is the most likely person that I will vote for this time around, but I'm very seriously considering voting for Robert Kennedy, if for no other reason, because I know my vote doesn't matter here in Illinois. You know, a line of stand.
True.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I hear even the dead vote in Chicago.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. That's why I'm glad most of my family moved out of Illinois before they died, so their votes are not being used against them. Trump wasn't a racist when his name was on all his rap songs. Yeah, right. Trump stopped China from taking over strategic assets. Look, and Trump is also one who, look, it's not, because I'm not going to say that Trump is truly conservative, right? Again, I'm going to tell you again, it's not conservative versus liberal. It is populist versus statist. And there's no doubt that Trump is a populist. Robert Kennedy is a populist. Probably leans a little more left than Trump does. But let's face it, Trump is a little bit more left from some of the people you would consider to be true, you know, conservatives, right? Look, Trump was beloved by the left before he declared himself a Republican and ran. And why did he declare himself a Republican? Because there was an opening for him. That's the only reason. That's the only damn reason. But guys, I encourage you to go check out what Trump said decades ago. He said it in interviews on Oprah Winfrey's show and all kinds of things, where he would give commentary about our nation and what he thought was right. And the left was like, yes, 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 because what he was saying was good and true, right? But if it's coming from a Republican, oh, boo, boo, fascist. He has not changed what he's been saying all along. Why was it okay when you thought he was on your side, but when he's on the other side, it's wrong? It's because you're disingenuous. That's right. That's why.
Do you mind if I quote a Razorfish tweet here on the
Go ahead.
the whole
Sure.
Rakita situation?
Yeah.
Just heartbroken for everyone involved in the Rakita situation. He's never been anything but a solid stand-up dude to me. God heals. It's never hopeless. If he could deliver the worst of all sinners, Paul's assessment of himself, he can transmogrify any one of us. So, yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, Razorfist is also good people. You should definitely be following him too. And Razorfist is tied in real well with although he is mostly pop culture,
Yes.
all the kind of stuff that we enjoy and whatnot. He's also real tied in with the LawTube people too. So definitely check him out. The Storyman Jack says, oh, and by the way, definitely check out Storyman. The reason he's called Storyman Jack is because he's an author. He writes some great fiction. You should be checking out his stuff. My 23-year-old son is going to vote for the first time. He said, I can't afford shit, so I'm going to vote for Trump. Look, who was it? Somebody can bring the receipts for me. Who was it who said, it's the economy, stupid? The average person may have their one thing they care about, whether it's 2A or abortion or whatever your thing is that you care about, but what trumps them all, the economy. Whether or not you can afford your rent and mortgage, and whether or not you can afford your food. This is what people care about.
You can't afford a Big Mac anymore.
That's for fuck. Well, shocker. Let's raise we got to have a living wage for the minimum wage. So we're going to raise it to $10 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour. Fuck it. Why don't you raise it to $100 an hour, $1 million an hour, whatever. Everyone will be rich for 30 seconds before you pay your taxes and inflation takes it all away from you. You dumbasses.
A lot of the sit-down restaurants are offering better deals than the fast food chains. You can go to Chili's and for like $10.99 get like a burger and a side like fries, get an appetizer and a drink for $10.99.
You need to earn what you make. You need to be worth whatever they're paying. Minimum wage means your effort is
Minimum wage was meant for teenagers that want a part-time job and retirees that want just a little extra.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be a living wage.
It was never meant to be that.
I will give points. Some of these teens actually are actually saving up a lot of money from these jobs now, though. So I'll give credit. I mean, they might, if they're flittering away, at least it's some good's coming out of this. But yeah, it's too expensive, man.
Brandon Herrera is winning by trolling and memeing Sashi. Again, Sashi, not here in the United States. He's seeing it from an objective point of view. The fact that you're seeing that from Brandon Herrera, boom. Just boom. Absolutely true.
The Clue Channel said a 2-piece chicken dinner at Popeyes is $17 in some places.
This is why we don't do fast food anymore at all.
It's ridiculous. Yes, I think I drove on the side and I saw the price of whether it was I was like, nope, driving away. Goodbye. It's like no.
Well, the other thing is now you go into
over at KFC.
You go into any place, you're ordering yourself at a kiosk, and then there's actually an option there to give a tip. It's like, what am I tipping you for? what are you doing that you're earning a tip?
You have done nothing. Yeah,
the tipping culture is way out of hand. It ticks
Bill
me off.
O'Reilly was talking about that on his channel. He was saying, you're handing me a bag. It's like
Yeah, I mean, even in restaurants, you're walking a plate 20 feet from where the cook had made it to my table, and for that I have to give you 20%, or you get pissed off?
Let me let you comment on this. I had an argument today about left and right with a family member. Told that member to stop looking at everything Trump does, everything Trump says, and look at what he does. I would go further than that. I would say, did he really say what you're saying he said?
Trouble is the media takes clips and does them out of context all the time. That's what they do.
Well, that's true. That is very true. But I'll tell you what, it's not just the media, it's social media, and they're not even taking things out of context. They're fucking lying. They're saying people said stuff they did not fucking say. Yeah, I've said this many times, Jack. I've said, when we were growing up, we were told when we would say, that's not fair. What did your parents always say? Well, life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. And that pissed us off until we learned, holy fuck, it's true. Life isn't fair. Because that's the way of the world, right? You watch a documentary sometimes, and you watch the gazelle getting taken down by the lion. Well, that's not fair. It's the way of the world. Survival of the fittest, fucktard.
We grew up in an era where life isn't fair. Well, we learned how to toughen up. Now, you got snowflakes every freaking where that the slightest thing offends them. It's like, like I said, pardon my language, well, fuck you and your being offended.
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't care. Reality doesn't care about your feelings. Real quick, Curtis Selby says, I am thinking about voting for Kennedy, but I might vote for Trump if he makes the right moves between here and November. Yeah, so again, going back to what Curtis and I were talking about on his channel, some of the problems I have with Trump is he hasn't learned some very valuable lessons. For example, when it came to the clot shot, right, that he pushed, right, the Project Warp Speed was all his, and he's still doing victory laps around that. And it's like, dude, fucking pay attention. You were sold a bill of goods. There are more people now that know people that were injured or killed by the clot shot, than by COVID. That's just statistics. That's just perception. And if you're running for office, you should be aware of things like that. But be that as it may, you are very disconnected. Another big one that Kennedy, and look, you want to win? Pay attention to the things that Kennedy is running on. Kennedy is scaring the shit out of the Democrats. That's why he's not running as a Democrat. Kennedy is a lifelong Democrat, and they Bernie Sandered him. So that's why he's running independent.
Would it be funny if Trump announces VP pick and it was Kennedy?
It won't happen.
Yeah, I know it won't happen.
I know it won't.
Who do you think he's going to pick?
I'm sorry that you asked me that.
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want.
Well, I will tell you what I've heard, and I hope it's wrong. What's his name? Scott. Something Scott.
Rick Scott.
Whatever. He's a fucking statist. If Trump does choose him as his running mate, he's a dead man. He's going to get Kennedy.
Here's what I know about Rick Scott. Rick Scott is trying to take over the Senate from Mitch McConnell. He wants that position, so he may not be interested. I think he wants to be a Senate majority, a Senate Republican Senate leader. That's what he's gearing toward.
I'm not 100% certain we got the... Let me double check.
He was the governor of Florida for a few years. I remember him. I was mad at him about the monorail.
Tim Scott.
Oh, Tim Scott, not Rick Scott. Okay, because I was thinking,
Tim Scott is currently the favorite, and he is a big
that's somebody
statist.
else. That's somebody else.
He's a big statist, and he's been a never Trumper until he thought he might get the nomination. Then he switched. So I'm hoping that Trump is intelligent enough to realize that this is just another statist that he doesn't need, that's gonna stab him in the back, because they'll just Kennedy him to put Scott in charge, and we got another rhino statist in charge of the country. That is no bueno. He needs to choose somebody who is as much a populist as he is, and that's life insurance. Until the election is over, Kennedy is his life insurance, because anybody who can't vote for Trump because something, happens to him will vote for Kennedy.
So let's see.
Trump is an 80s Democrat. Let me tell you something.
Basically, yeah.
If I lived at the time that Jack Kennedy ran, I probably would be voting Democrat, to be honest with you. I mean, the idea of what Democrats are and what Republicans are is a little different than it was back then. again, it's look past the R and the D and look to the, what do they really stand for? Do they stand for the state or do they stand for the people? You know, I know. Everybody believes the Democrats are for the people. They're the People's Party. They're the People's Party. And the Republicans are for the rich and the elite. It ain't true. It ain't true. Remember, the Democrats are rich, right? And they're bought off by companies. Well, and the statist Republicans are too, the rhinos. You know, so... And absolutely, Troy, whoever you vote for, look up the things they said back in the 80s. Look at the things they said. Well, let me temper that a little bit, Curtis. If you did that with Kennedy, you'd be getting a skewed impression of him. He is he is capable of changing his mind. He's a critical thinker. He can be persuaded. When you show him the evidence, he changes his mind. He is backed off. For example, back in the 80s, he was a big gun grabber. Now he's starting to go, wait a minute. A lot of those gun grabbing laws are very racist. They are anti-2A. The 2A exists for a reason. Hold on a second. You want to take guns away from law-abiding people, it's going to do nothing to stop criminals from having guns. He's starting to walk back a lot of his opinions about the Second Amendment. So, yeah, you're right. Look at their history. That tells you where they were. But look at their current history. Pay attention. Have they changed their mind? Look, we should encourage people to change their minds and get their heads right and think, right? We don't need ideologues leading this country. We need intelligent people paying attention, capable of changing their minds.
It'd be nice for a change.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, heaven forbid, right? Best policy is to not look at what policies say. Look real hard at what they actually do. Yeah, politicians, fuck what they say. You know, what is it? Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Definitely apply that to politicians. This includes looking up how they voted, in support of and against. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mark is my success story. He is my red pill. He is the lefty that paid attention and was like, wow, Troy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, Red Lobster's going out of business. A lot.
You know why? Because they offered all-you-can-eat shrimp.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. And then Troy showed up, and fuck it, they were dead. What about all the people that don't get tipped that deserve it? This is the Home Depot guy. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you're not getting tipped and that's your tipping point, go talk to the company and say, look, I need to make enough money to live on. If I can't, I'm not taking this job. And those companies will start going, oh, gee, maybe we need to start paying people.
Well,
yeah,
this
whole
happened.
Tipping thing is an American thing that's bullshit. Pay people what they're worth, you know, and don't expect, or don't fucking pay them at all. If they truly work for tips.
Yeah, which they claim they do.
You know.
See, that's my whole thing. It's like, you get all these servers that go, oh, I got stiffed on a tip. No. See, here's the thing. You brought them their food. They paid their check. They did what they're supposed to do. If they happen to leave you a tip, that's a gift because you did exceptional service and they want to show their appreciation. But a tip is not your right. It is a gift.
Yeah.
So F off and stop demanding 20% or more for you taking a plate from 20 feet away and bringing it to my table.
Well, and honestly, what it comes down to is, and the people that are most successful know this, you earn a tip through the service you provide. And if you go above and beyond, that's when you get the tip. And look, I mean, it's kind of like prostitution. You know, you want a tip from me? You better figuratively blow me.
There is a site that I read, and I may have mentioned this before. It's called Not Always Right, and it's got different tabs on not always working, not always related, not always not always right, not always working, not always related, etc. So it's a really fun site to read, and it's all these stories about stupid things that happen at the workplace, at home, at school, and what have you. Check it out. So it's called notalwaysright.com. And one of the stories I read in there, this person was talking about how a couple came into their restaurant and they had like a $40 order or something and left them like a $3 tip. And they're like, they stiffed me. My response was,
you're lucky you got $3.
It's like, no, they didn't stiff you. They left you $3. It may not have been what you wanted, but they gave you a tip.
Yeah.
Because then the op or original poster of this particular story made themselves look even more horrible by saying that they ran after the couple who left them $3 tip and threw it at them because it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever see the episode of The Sopranos about the tip thing that happened on there?
I'm sure I did, but I'm not recalling it.
Christopher was being made to pay for all the meals because that's what we have to do when you're the young capo or whatever, and he was getting annoyed and like I think he didn't want to pay one time, and that became a big thing. So then he had to pay the next time, and like Paulie was just ordering.
I remember
and
that.
He didn't have enough money for the tip, right? He
Yeah.
says, "Was the service not good?" And he says, "What?" And he says, "You didn't leave because he didn't have the money to pay for it."
And everyone was giving him shit about it because look, that was a big thing. Look, it's an Italian culture, it's a mob culture kind of thing where it's like you over tip. You know, because on the other side of this whole argument, it's also if you are a regular and you tip big, you are expecting people to be aware of that and to bend over backwards for it.
Yeah, it's like years ago. I think it was before I even met Troy. I went to this kind of like restaurant cafe type of place while I was waiting for a friend to show up, and then we were going to go someplace. I forgot what we were going to do, but I was waiting there, and because it was cold outside, I went inside to this like little restaurant. I'm the only person there. I tried to sit in the booth. They gave me flack saying, well, you know, our rush will be happening soon, and you know, you can't be taking your booze. You have to move to a table. I'm like, fine. Now, I had been in that place for about almost an hour and a half. Yeah. And I was the only person there, so much for the freaking rush.
Wow.
Well, while I was there, I ordered a cup of coffee. The waitress had a snotty attitude, brought me the cup of coffee, and then disappeared. And there was no one around. I mean, there was no other waitstaff, no one. I was basically sitting in this restaurant by myself with my cup of coffee. Finished the coffee, and I'm looking around for her to get a refill. Can't find anybody. I said, I'm in there for an hour and a half. This person never showed up again. So finally I got to a point where like, okay, well, my friend's going to be coming. Can't find anybody. Don't know how much the coffee is because no one told me, and there was like no menu that it shows off of. I'm like, well, screw this. I can't find anybody to ask, so I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
So I put on my coat, just got outside. My friend was starting to come in, and we stood there to chat for a second. The waitress comes running out the door, and she's like, you didn't pay. And I'm like, well, had you bothered to come back to my table at any point, I would have.
Yeah.
I said, I sat there for an hour and a half, and you never returned to the table and never refilled my cup, nothing. I was like, so how much is it? And she's like, it's $1. I'm like, okay, fine. I gave her the $1, and then she's like, what, no tip? And I just looked at her like,
what?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, what is it? 15% of $1 would be
15 cents. She wasn't worth that because she did zero. Nate says, I don't like Trump. I have never liked him from back in the 80s. Just saw him as a rich asshole. But if the choice is between him and brain dead Biden, guess what?
That's where a lot of
and
people
here's
are, yeah.
the thing I would say about that. If that's the only reason you're not liking him is because he's a rich asshole, show me one presidential candidate in your lifetime who wasn't rich. If you're just, holding it against them that they're rich.
Well, no, to be fair, He could on occasion be an asshole. Let's not pretend.
Yeah, but why do you think he's an asshole, though? Pay attention to what he actually says.
Well, I know. I used to watch The Apprentice. That was all.
Maybe I'm the asshole because I'm agreeing with him. Just saying.
The Apprentice,
and
was
maybe
a
you
funny
are
show.
too if you really listen.
Did you ever
That's
watch
what I'm saying.
Did you ever watch The Apprentice back in the day? It was funny.
I agree, but keep in mind, they call it reality TV. That's bullshit.
No, but this was funny because they had to make 2 commercials, I guess, for Norwegian Cruise Line, right? The 2 teams had to make an advertising campaign, and the one team had the idea of this like shipwreck guy on this raft, right? Okay, and they're going to bring the shipwreck guy along, and it's all going to be paradise on the Norwegian Cruise Line. Well, that commercial didn't get picked by Norwegian Cruise Line, and then Trump's like, he's asking the people that made the commercial, the team that made the commercial, and he's like, whose idea was it to have the homeless guy on the ship? And he says, well, actually, it was a joint thing. We all decided. I hated it. That's what he said. He just said it like that, and they all got quiet. They all got quiet. He just said, I hated it.
The Clue Channel says I got COVID 3 times with 0 shots, still alive. Yeah, and probably with no lasting effects, right? Look, I said this, and fuck, I got shit on social media when I made this comparison. How many times have you had the flu, despite getting the fucking flu shot, right? Just saying. This is no different. Yes, the first 1 or 2 strains of COVID were deadly. But if you avoided those, not anymore. That's kind of how viruses work. We didn't learn everything that happened during COVID happened during the Spanish flu. Again, what do we always say? Those who can't learn from history are destined to repeat it. You didn't learn from the Spanish flu? We repeated it with COVID. And the same fucktards are going to learn again with whatever the next pandemic is. Just saying.
Anyway, I got marketing ideas.
And real quick, not Nikki Haley. Unfortunately, Clue, I heard he's planning on putting her on his cabinet. And that goes back to exactly what Geek Flag was saying, right? He's not a perfect candidate. You know, he's kind of a dumbass, but he may be the best we have, right? You're never going to find a perfect candidate. You never will. If you're going to sit out the vote because you didn't find a perfect candidate, well, then maybe you should be fucking running. Just saying. You know, if you're not going to be part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I can think of 3 names that if he picks one of them, I will vote for him. If he picks the statist, I won't. I understand that, Curtis. And I would encourage you, the more votes that Kennedy gets, look, the reality is Trump is the favored to win. He's probably going to win, right? Assuming, nothing happens to him. But if enough people vote for Kennedy, maybe he'll get the message. Maybe he'll start paying attention. Maybe he'll learn something, and maybe he'll be a better president, is all I'm saying. And if you live in a state like me in Illinois, where it doesn't matter if I vote for Trump, Trump's not winning Illinois, maybe I vote for Kennedy instead to send that message. Just saying. I'm sorry, Boomer, you were saying?
Well, I just want to bring up, someone mentioned the Celebrity Apprentice in the chat. My favorite, I remember one time on Celebrity Apprentice, they had Gene Simmons of Kiss on one of the teams, right? You
Yes.
know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
And they were kicking butt, his team, but the trouble is they lost on the Kodak commercial. They were making a commercial for Kodak, the company, and they picked the other team.
Right.
So Trump, of course, invites him. You have to bring yourself and 2 of your team members because one's going to get fired. And he only brought himself. He's like, oh, I'm going to go in there alone. And he says, and this is what he said to Trump. He said, Kodak was wrong.
Interesting.
But that didn't save him. But I'm like,
no.
I give him points for that. And who's to say he's wrong? But of course, according to the Apprentice game, someone has to go each week, so you didn't bring anyone. So
well,
it
was a Celebrity
saying
Apprentice, so
Kodak.
they didn't care if they won or not.
Well, and you get money for a charity of your choice.
He's got the money to give the money.
I know, but the thing is that it's more about the prestige. But I thought that was funny though that he just said Kodak was wrong, and I'm thinking, who is to argue with Gene Simmons on that?
Oh yeah, exactly. And you gotta admire the chutzpah, right? He's taking responsibility on the one hand. He's not going to send someone else home for his decision, and he's standing by his conviction. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Samuel Proctor brings up a great question. And he says, I may have missed something in all the political talk, but I have a question. Why haven't I heard any talk of impeachment of Biden? That is a great question, Samuel Proctor. I want you to think about that for a second. Why do we have all these impeachments and all these charges brought against Donald Trump, but no impeachment process brought against Biden?
Well, because he...
Go ahead. Yeah.
It was an age thing with the other one, right? Like...
Well, that was the excuse they gave, right? Oh, he's a doddering old man. He means well. Fuck that bullshit. If he is not capable of running this country, he should be removed from office and put, the jackal in charge.
Did you hear the latest though, with about the secure files I found at Mar-a-Lago? Did you hear about what happened with that?
What are you referring to specifically?
Okay, I think that they asked for the corresponding numbers of the stuff that the FBI located, and it didn't match the numbers of the stuff that Trump actually had in the site. So I don't know if the insinuation was they planted stuff or something was fabricated there. I don't know.
There's been some. I'll be diplomatic here. There have been some irregularities in the handling of the documents, to the point that you can't draw any actual evidence. You got these congresswomen talking about showing pictures of, look, the top secret, blah 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 blah, not understanding that, or simply ignoring the fact that those things that say top secret, that was put there by the people that confiscated the documents. And look, guys, very simple. The whole Mar-a-Lago thing was, there was documents that the previous president, Donald Trump, had that the left didn't want him to have, that implicated them, and they wanted those back. This is the kind of bullshit that you see in banana republics. That's what it comes down to. It's a bunch of bullshit, is what it really is. So going back to Samuel Proctor's question, why aren't they impeaching Biden? Because the Democrats are the majority in the legislature, and they are protecting their statist. That's why. Because rules for thee and not for me. That is why. It's that simple. And don't be mistaken. The Freedom Caucus within the Republicans have tried to bring impeachment, but the statist rhinos are siding with the Democrats. That's the problem. This is what Tulsi Gabbard thought. The Democratic Party was for the people. When she learned that the Dems at the top didn't even care about us, she left the party. Yes, Tulsi Gabbard is a lot like Bobby Kennedy. She is liberal. She is a little left, right? But she is a populist. And I think that true conservatives have more in common with lefty populists than they do with any status on either side of the aisle. A lot of my friends who tell me not to vote for Kennedy say he is a gun grabber. The Dems who don't like him make fun of him for the brainworm thing. Yeah. Yeah, all of that's a bunch of bullshit. And look, again, we're talking, let's take that first part. A lot of my friends tell me not to vote for Kennedy because he's a gun grabber. Really? We have seen this from Obama. We've seen it from Biden. All these executive orders that keep getting turned over by SCOTUS. Why? Because there are certain things the president doesn't have a right to. He's not the king. He can't just decide it, right? Gun grabbing can only be legislated.
Anyway,
remember the three-ring circus. Remember your Schoolhouse Rock, right? The government is a three-ring circus, right? You have the legislature that makes the laws. You have the executive branch that enforces the laws. And you've got the judiciary that interprets the law, right? So you have the legislature who says, we're going to ban all assault weapons, right? And you have the president, the executive branch, say, we will enforce that law. And then SCOTUS says, hold up a second. What exactly is an assault weapon? If you
When
can't
you hit people with, that's assault.
If it is too vague, you can't enforce it. Therefore, it is unconstitutional. That law goes away. That's how this works. Also, the Bruin decision, Second Amendment says, shall not be infringed. This is what it meant then. Therefore, this is what it means now. Let's face it, boil down the Bruin decision, and what they're basically saying is, if you want to grab guns, if you want to infringe on people's rights to own guns, you need an amendment to the Constitution. You need to change the Second Amendment. Otherwise, you're out of luck. And I realize we are coming.
Do you want to move over to Rumble?
Yeah, we are going to move over to Rumble, and then I have to cut you loose, don't I? Because you got.
Well, I can hang out for like 15 more minutes. So.
Okay.
Do that.
Yeah. So
but I will keep my YouTube open. So if anyone wants to.
Yeah, if you were following on Netter, just stay on Netters. That's fine.
Maybe Samuel Proctor had an idea about attempting to lead stream back to nerd stuff. He wants to know you have anything about Star Wars 77th anniversary tomorrow. We could always talk about that on Rumble.
That's a great point. Yeah, we will pick up. We'll drop the political bullshit here. Yeah. We will pick up with the nerd stuff over on Rumble.
Sometimes it is. I'm sorry.
Right.
All right, going over to Rumble.
So
Rumble
come on over to Rumble. Netter, can you drop that Rumble link for me, please?
I gotta get it.
Oh,
I'll get it. Give me a second.
Okay.
I need to add it to my list of links that I keep.
And guys, be understand. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, right? This is my side gig. I do have a full-time job. So I have limited time to put content together, and one of the things I've been wanting to put together is some kind of a video to kind of end it on YouTube and send you guys over to Rumble. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, so it's kind of clunky, and Netter's kind of called me out on it and says, you just kind of shut it off on YouTube.
It's like,
bye, and yeah, I guess that's kind of true, but
okay, so I dropped the Rumble stream in Troy's. I'm going to drop it in mine as well.
Yeah, let me go ahead and I'm going to pin this to the top.
And I've added your Rumble link to my regular thingies that I copy and paste into chat.
So come join us over on Rumble. I'll vamp for a few minutes so you guys can all come over and join us. Again, the reason I do this is because I am trying to grow my presence on Rumble. I do want to diversify. If anything ever happens to my YouTube channel, which, that's another topic entirely. But, someone gets vindictive and decides to copyright strikes and whatnot. Sorry. Didn't say hi to Real Walden Media. welcome. Sorry I didn't see you earlier.
On my channel.
Yep. Welcome. But yeah, you gotta know that if anyone that gets vindictive, any of these social vandals that want to, bring down my channel can put in false copyright claims against my channel and strikes and bring down my channel, YouTube could go away tomorrow. But I will still be on Rumble. So
I want to say goodnight to Sashi. Have fun at work.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, Sashi. Yeah, this is if you're gonna dip out, this is the place to dip out, and then check out Rumble tomorrow if you want to see what you missed. But I want to thank all of you guys that have hung out with me as long as you have, and we will be continuing on Rumble. And yeah, it's gonna seem kind of abrupt, but that's the way of it. So link is up here at the top. That won't be going away. That'll still be linked there. So come join us on Rumble if you can continue hanging out with us, and we'll drop the political bullshit and we'll start getting back to some of the geeky stuff. Okay? Catch you hopefully over on Rumble. Take care.
Like I said, if you want though, I'm still my YouTube